Today, we are going to look at it takes longer to find a tenant for your investment property, and here's why. Hello, everyone, and happy holiday to all of you. Today is the last episode of the year. Now, so excited to already go through 52 episodes of the market update with you for the last year, 2023. Thank you so much for all of your support. And today is the last episode of the year. It happened to be also the monthly market update for November 2023. Some of you may ask why not December, and I keep repeating this because this is the newest for the monthly data. It takes about 30 days to gather all the information. That's why this is the newest information. We don't have the December data yet, right? Because we are still in December. To be able to report data in December, we're going to look at that in January. So don't worry about that. You will not miss anything. But the key point for today, as you see, is we are going to look at the data for about the rental properties, and we are going to see the trend that is take actually longer time to find tenants nowadays. And I will use some of the explanation of the why. But first, let's dive into the data today. All right, the first chart that we are going to look at is the number of sold houses on the market. Okay, so as you see right now, the current right here, there are in this month, in November 2023, there are 4,291 homes sold on the market. Now, why do I have to have all the number over there? Just so that we can see relatively how is the trend doing right now. As you see, 6 months ago, it's very high, right? 7,626. It has been dropped since then. 3 months, 1 month, and the current year. It actually is a downtrend since June of this year already. Another important factor we have to look at also is comparison between year over year, because real estate data is when we compare real estate data, not only compare in a short term but also compare in a long term as well, so that we can have both respective of the data of the real estate market. As of November of 2022 compared to November of 2023, we have a reduction of homes sold about 7%. Less than last year, right? So there's obviously that normally the number of sold houses show you the demand on the market. So the demand actually dropped right now for compared to November of 2023. Okay. The next chart that we are going to look at is the number pending. This is also another indication of the demand as well. Similar pattern, right? As of right now, we have about 5,508 as of pending contract right now. Okay, it is also a downtrend since June of this year already. And when you compare to November of 2022, we also have a negative trend of 6%, a reduction of 6% compared to November 2022. We see that the demand has been dropped. And therefore, that show that interest rate is still the number one factor right now. Okay, because the interest rate is still keeping high as from November of this year to November of this year. Obviously, the demand has dropped. Still on the same trend of dropping the number of homes sold on the market. Okay. The next chart that we are going to show you is the number of new houses for sale on the market. The number of new houses for sale on the market as of today, in the month of November, we have 6,779 new homes for sale that get onto the market. In comparison for a short-term period, we can see that there's some months that is go higher. Like last month, October, there's higher number of that a new house was for sale, but then in November it's less than that. So overall, it doesn't change that much for a short-term period. When you compare to the previous year though, November 2022, we see that there's an increase of 12.16% in the new new houses for sale. Okay, this indicates that the number of supply, okay, in contradictory with the previous two charts in which we talk about the demand. This chart shows you the supply of houses on the market. So compared to November 2022, we have more houses for sale in new houses for sale in November 2023. However, let's look at the active listing. Okay, the active houses for sale show that the number of houses on the market as of any month. Okay, so currently we have about 14,515 houses for sale for the month of November 2023. In a short-term period, it's actually increased. But in the long-term period, it's actually a decrease of 19.32%. Remember back in November of 2022, that is when the interest rate goes crazily high from 5% to 7%. Okay, in actually happening in May, and since May of 2022, and since then, a lot of houses cannot be sold because the buyer actually back out. A lot of buyers actually back out on the market and waiting for the interest rate to drop, right? And that's the reason why November of 2022, actually remaining and cannot be sold back in November 2022. Obviously, the condition has been increased. Okay, that's why you see November of 2023, there are actually less active houses for sale. This is actually good because that means the buyer is still consuming the supply on the market. So, but in a short-term period, we can see that there's actually an uptrend of number of houses available for sales on the market. Some of the people may concern this is an indication of the market crash, okay? Because whenever we have a high number of supply, increased number of supply on the market, okay, we actually have the price has to drop. However, though, with even with this increase, okay, the number of available houses is still very minimal compared to historical. Okay, so there's no indication of crazy number of supply yet. 15,000 a month is very typical, very below the historical average in Arizona. Okay, the next chart that I want to show you is the month of supply. As of today, we have 3.38 months of supply. This number means that if there's no new houses that get sold on the market, it's going to take about 3 months for the homes to be sold on market. Compared to November of last year, we actually a little bit reduced, okay? A little bit reduced compared to November of 2022. It's actually about 13% reduction compared to last year. So obviously you see that even though there's a there's an increase of the demand on the market, right? Even though there's an increase in supply in the market right now, according to the current demand, it's only take about 3 months to get rid of those remaining active new homes for sale on the market. So we're not going to have any problem with getting those homes sold today market. Okay. Next one is take days on market. Okay, that's up to date. We are going to look at the median days on market. I like median more because it's get rid of all the outlier, all the abnormal data points. Okay, as of today, we have 39 days that needed for an average homes to be sold on today's market. Compared to November of 2022, we actually have a reduction of about 7%, 6.56%, but not too much different, which indicates that this slow trend of the market is actually based on seasoning, okay, seasonal, okay, because normally it's like November, December, October. I'm sorry, November, December, and January. That is normally the time that people worry about vacation, holidays. People also spending more on those times. So housing seems to be slower compared to other months in spring. Okay, obviously you're gonna see we're gonna have a much better market in when Arizona market in spring. Okay. All right. And here is, I think most of you, if you follow my videos, this is one of the most important charts that I'm going to talk about. This is the home that is a sale price. Okay. As of today, we have the median sale price of the entire Maricopa County is 4,338. Okay, about 339. Okay, so you can see that this one is actually not changing that much. Okay, sorry. You see that it is almost a flat line, right? In fact, compared to October, it is decreased. I mean, it's actually only 0.8% increase, and compared to August, it's also 0.8% increase. Okay, so August and October is the same. Okay, and then June is about 1.14%. Okay, the only thing increase is clear is November of 2022. We have about 3.42% increase to the current point. Okay. Now, this one thing that I want to point out is that according to the prediction of last month, okay, is actually 435, but it's actually beating the prediction of 438, so 3,000 more. Another prediction that we have in December, for December time number is 435. So I think the algorithm is a little bit conservative, and then always calculate below, and hopefully another better number than this gonna come out when we have the monthly market update in January. We'll see about that. All right. So that's too much of the sale price already. So let's move on to the number of rental. This is very important for the investor, especially for long-term rental investor, to pay attention to the market. Okay, for the entire Maricopa County right now, for the month of December, we have an average rent of the median rent price of all the property available for rent in MLS in the multiple listing service. Okay, which is about 2,200, 2,195, okay, $2,195 for a house. All right, so obviously you see that there's a downtrend of rentals in June until August, and pretty much it's a flat line since September. September is $2,200, October is $2,220, November is $2,199, and December up to now is $2,195. So it's pretty much the flat line since September, okay, which is good for the renter and as well as the landlord. Also, why do I think it is good for the renter? Because with all the economic crazy right now, the more stable one of the costs is, the better for the renter to evaluate and the family situation, and they're gonna have longer time to find the house and not rushing into the process. Okay, for the landlord, it is important. It is good for them because it's not dropping like June or July or August or September, right? That's a good thing. That indicates that there's still a demand in current markets. Okay, there's still demand in the current rental market. Okay, what about days on market? It's actually, as you see here, in December, it's about 37 days to get a home rented. Okay, that number unfortunately has been increasing June. even though the rent price doesn't change much, that means the landlord is more reasonable in terms of asking price, right? It's still taking longer time. That is also a compound effect because of the holiday season as well. October, November, and December seems to be slower, right? Nobody want to move during that time, and therefore it is even worse for the landlord in that situation. Now, why is that taking longer time? Okay, number one, already talk about the holiday season, and number two, also as of right now, there's a lot of apartment buildings complex in Arizona throughout. So we are actually like the landlord, whoever investing in real estate has to competing with those apartment complex. Okay, so and those apartment complex seems to have, even though they don't have the nice backyard and a nice front yard, but they have a lot of nice amenities. And for millennial or Gen X generation, younger generation, they like that. They like those amenities more than the lack of the backyard or the front yard, right? So for that reason, we have to competing with those apartment complex. So that's the reason why it takes longer time to find a tenant in today's market. So the lesson from this, my suggestion actually is not a lesson or anything. My suggestion for the landlord is to take a look at the rental comps effectively. Okay, don't just look at the sold comps. Okay, because if you only look at the sold comps, you look at the history, the past, right? Those comps are helpful to determine the base price at which you should charge, right? So if the sold comps is selling for renting for 2,000, is unreasonable to ask for 3,000, right? Unless your house is amazing in that area, right? It's the basic, it's a start, but you also have to look at the active houses as well, so that you can see whether you have any competitors on the market, and if you are willing to compete with them, are you willing to play with time, or are you willing to you better to find a tenant sooner than later? All right. So those are my advice. If you are seeking for a specific situation, and if you need my advice on how to count your rental, how to determine the price better for you, feel free to come into the message me directly, and I will be more than happy to share with you what I think about that. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Again, happy holidays to all of you, to all of your family, to you and to all of your family. I thank you so much for all of your support for the last year, and looking forward for the next year of 2024. Bye-bye.